Hey you guys, it's Peter! And I'm back. Of course I'm back, I'm not going anywhere. I'm YouTube famous now. Hillbilly, homophobe, redneck, gay, he's redneck, gay all day. Available on iTunes. And it really is about to be available on iTunes. I have a little somebody helping me out with my new album getting ready to be released. So I wanted to talk today about this video that I saw on YouTube. Did y'all see this video called Let's Talk Sociopaths with Trisha Paytas? I started watching it earlier today and then I just finished it a couple minutes ago. Okay. So I have an opinion about all this, first of all. It was really interesting because I know that Trisha watches my videos. Thank you, girl. I love you. Hey out there to Trishy's Fishies. I love the fishes because they're so delicious. Anyway, I don't know if Trisha's delicious. I've never tasted her, but I'm sure. Anyway, so I was watching this video because I watch all her videos. She watches all my videos. We're good Judies like that, so get over it. Anyway, I was watching this video and she's in there talking about like how she attracts a lot of sociopaths in her life. And she says in the video, she said, you know, like I've that many times said on video that I think I'm a sociopath and that I think I'm crazy and time out, girl, okay? Time out, first of all. And this is not about, did she make the lies up? Did she not make the lies up? Are they lies at all? Are they not lies? Was it all true? Was the whole relationship with Sean real? Was it fake? It's too much, right? And I think like, why can't it be a little bit of all of it, if that makes sense? So anyway, but that's not really what it's about. I think it's really interesting if you watch the video. She goes in there and she kind of talks about, well, she doesn't say who the sociopath is, but come on now. I don't need receipts for that, but I might need some coupons and rebate codes, baby. Anyway, we know who the video is about. So anyway, when you're watching it, because she talks about how this person stopped following her on Twitter and all this kind of stuff. Well, it could be one of two people, but it's really about one person. So anyway, but in there is really interesting because she talks in there about like, that at times, like when you think you're crazy, you're like either they're crazy or I'm crazy, right? Well, I had just done a video a couple days ago talking about toxic people and everybody thought I was talking about one person. I will not talk about that person in videos. So it wasn't about that person, move on. But anyway, it was interesting because in that video, I was talking about how I, in my life, have been surrounded by a lot of really toxic people. Not on YouTube. I mean, way before I ever got on YouTube. Years and years and I mean, all the way back to when I was growing up, to high school, I've always just had a lot of really toxic people around me. And that I always thought to myself, like, am I crazy or like they crazy, right? And then you start thinking like you're crazy. I mean, I know you guys out there relate to this, right? And if you think about it from a YouTube point of view, that she says on camera that she doesn't really go out a lot, she doesn't really interact with a lot of friends of hers, you know, and then she sees all this stuff and she's just bombarded, like literally, you know the song Love is a Battlefield by, what's her face? Why can't I think? People are shouting at the screen right now. It was from that movie, The Legend of Billie Jean, Fair is Fair, why can't I think of her name? I have every single one of her songs on my stupid iPad. Why can't I think of her name? I'm gonna have to go in here now because I'm like losing my mind looking at this. Oh, fuck. Anyway, you know who I can see her in my head. Benatar, Pat Benatar. So anyway, love was a battlefield, now Twitter is a battlefield. Let me just tell you, like every day that I get on Twitter, and I guess this is just part of the gig, there's always like so much like hate and drama and whatever. And like I'm talking about a YouTuber, I have like 36,000 subscribers. Can you imagine having millions and millions like Trisha Paytas? Like all of the hate that would be directed towards you, and you're constantly like this. Like, is it real? Is it not real? Is it real? Is it not real? Is it real? Who should I believe? What shouldn't I believe? I mean, at some point, you probably do feel like you're losing your fucking mind, right? But I did think that it was interesting because I think on all these videos, like I was just watching PewDiePie's video because y'all know about all the drama with PewDiePie, right? I will not touch that. I think it's the fact that somebody thinks that they're so arrogant that they can get away with something like that and they think it's funny is ridiculous. To me, it's disgusting. So anyway, I won't comment on that. But I was watching PewDiePie's video and he throws out the word, he said, it's called like I'm happy or something, because I was looking for that video, which I don't know if it's now taken down or what. But he says in the video, like, I'm either happy or I'm depressed. Well, those aren't opposites, okay? Like, depressed is a clinical term, right? So when we talk about sociopaths, those are clinical terms. Like, you don't just walk down the street and say, do you see Judy Smith over there? Judy Smith, she's a sociopath. Like, you don't just say that. It's like a clinical term, right? So I thought for those of us that we just like, so many people on YouTube, just sociopath this, sociopath that, sociopath this, sociopath that, let's hear the true diagnosis. So I go to where I always go, which is the Mayo Clinic. If you guys have watched my videos for a while, you know I always go to the Mayo Clinic because I trust them for everything. And their definition of anti-personality disorder, sociopath, an antisocial personality disorder, sometimes called sociopathy, is a mental condition in which a person consistently shows no regard for right and wrong and ignores the rights and feelings of others. People with antisocial personality disorder tend to antagonize, manipulate, or treat others harshly or with callous indifference. They show no guilt or remorse for their behavior. And I think that, you know, what's interesting about that, let's just pause on that for a moment, okay? Somebody that maliciously attacks you, doesn't see the right or the wrong with it, never takes responsibility for it, never apologizes, and has absolutely no remorse. Do you guys know people like that in your life? I know many. I have crossed the paths of many people like that in my life, right? But I'm not a psychiatrist, and I'm not going to diagnose them with that. And that's exactly what Trisha's talking about in her video. And the thing is, I have learned, if I could give one piece of advice, and it's like, even though I know this lesson, I still don't stick to it, is when you come in contact with those people, run for the hills. Don't try to fix them. Don't try to figure it out. Don't try to be like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? And but I loved them, run. You didn't fucking love them. You cared too much. You can't love them enough to change them. It's not worth it. It's worth saving your ass. Get the hell out of the way of those people, because they are going to wreak havoc in everybody's life. I mean, that is what I have learned. And yet, I still meet people on a daily basis where I'm like, oh, they're so nice, and I really like them, and then I trust them, and boom, it's like right in my face, they fuck me over again, right? And I was watching her video, and I was like, so many people are like, when you and Trisha talk the same way, you're like, la 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 la. Well, I was like, there's another thing that Trisha and I are, and we've talked about that before, you know, it's like, I get it, girl. I get it, okay? I understand what it's like when you feel like people are attacking you from all sides, and you're like, am I crazy? Like, I must be crazy because other people aren't seeing this, and other people are buying into that, and all that kind of stuff, and I have been there. In the workplace, I was like that. Within my own family, I've been like that before. You know, it's like where you really start questioning your motives, and you step back, and you go, well, are they right? They're not right. You're not crazy. It's them, not you. And you have to remember that, okay? And it's like, I remember years and years and years ago, God love this woman. I can't remember what her name was, but God love her. When I started working in this adolescent treatment program, there was this girl that was like screaming and shouting at me in the hallway. And like, we used to write these consequences out for these kids. This was back in the day. And I remember I like grabbed a stack of them, and she put her hand down on it. She goes, don't start. She goes, just don't engage. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, just don't engage. Just let it run its course. And it's like, it's such a valuable lesson. It's like, if you just sit back and let it run its course, it will run its course. And don't get in the way of crazy. It's not worth it. It's totally, totally not worth it. But I thought the video that she put out was so relatable. I loved it. And I was like, you know, to find a lesson in all of that, to go through the pain, is really about turning your wounds into wisdom. And isn't this what this gig is all about anyway? I mean, it's not about getting YouTube famous, although that would be nice. But it's not just about that. I mean, it's about learning through our experiences and turning our wounds into wisdom. At least it is for me. So I love you guys. Follow me on all my social media. It's listed below. And you know that I interact with you. So it's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Talk to you later. Oh, bye.